welcome, and good morning to everybody. How are you doing today? I am coming on once again from my earlier video, and I want to give you a better sound quality video. I was going to take that video down, but I decided not to. So I'm just going to run it back as it says in the title. I just went ahead and added a run back. So again, this is So Pretty Tony coming to you this morning with a run back of Reese's Revolution, with the Angel in the WNBA machine with a run back. Recapping on my video earlier with Reese and her game last night, as to all of the games that she's had since she's returned from her injury back, that is, because when we say injury, we got to clarify, because she's had 2 seasons, and I'm gonna say two. We had her rookie year, and then we had the unrivaled season where she did not have an opportunity to finish those 2 seasons due to her we want to say wrist, but thumb. She had that hairline fracture where she had the surgery, and she had to have like a little slight pin put in there to kind of hold that together, so she wouldn't have a season injury or career ending injury, if I remember correctly. So here we are. She's back from her back injury. She's played several games, and since she's returned, she has, as you would say, for a Nafisa Collier, is on a revenge tour season for Nafisa. Asia has come back from the All-Star season and has been absolutely phenomenal. But when we talk about Angel M. F. and Reese, it's Sunday, so we're going to be respectful of the Lord and watch our language here in the wee early hours of the morning, before we get to possibly the D block a little bit later for some, right? But back to Angel, our beautiful, wonderful Barbie, our niece, whatever we want to call her, our child, our niece, our youngin, our beast on the boards. We have a number of names for our beautiful young lady, Angel Reese. There's a lot of podcasters out here who would like to speak on Angel and her prolific rebounding status and lack thereof, for some that are out here with the vitriol of what they think she cannot do versus what she is doing and capable of doing in the future of the WNBA, right? So that's why myself and a select few others are here, to make sure that we're putting it out there in the knowledge of what our beautiful young Angel Reese can do, and to kind of put her out there. Of course, she needs no help. She has her own introductory, and she projects that on a day-to-day basis, as not only she step on the court, but every time she turns on her camera, every time she speaks, every time she steps into a room as well. So, with that being said, guys, let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about our Barbie, right? With our Barbie did a phenomenal job last night playing against the Storm. She had a really slow start, as most tend to do with when they're starting off, and they don't have not so great game. We can kind of throw Paige Beckers in there a little bit, because of course Dallas doesn't have a prolific team either. I'm going to use that word. I'm not one to diminish most teams. I'm more, I think, more like a coach, from being a coach at one point to now, just sitting back on the sidelines and watching things roll the way they roll, and just giving my perspective on what I see. I'm not saying that I I know all and can tell all, but I will just give my opinion on what I see the best way that I know how, in my own opinion. We all have our own opinions. We can deploy our opinions and I won't diminish someone else's opinion. I can, however, agree to disagree with those that are out there, and I'm always up for a debate with anybody that wants to debate something that I may say or lack thereof knowledge, right? So please, at any point you want to give an analysis on any of my videos that you may come back later on and see, please put in a comment. I do respond. I love talking to you guys. Since I've been on here, this is Sunday. So this has been absolutely 2 great weeks for me coming out from the chat. I've been in the chat, sitting in the chat, talking with a few of the podcasters around in the media world, sitting in the chat and going back and forth and conversing with everyone, and just getting to know quite a few of you all. And I'm very grateful for listening to you all's knowledge. Some of you all have some great takes, some great inputs, and I do applaud you all for the things that you do. This is not an easy job. It is great. It is hard work to do this, and you have to know what you're talking about. I do want to say that it is not enough to just look at a highlight and then come on here and try and spill what you think you know versus what you're supposed to know as a podcaster or an analyst or someone that thinks that they know the game. Knowledge is key, right? So I'm going to say this: don't give a half ass analysis versus what you're supposed to know. So if you are someone that's out here that's giving your opinion, make sure your opinion is sound. Go and do your research on the player the right way before you come out and try and speak on the player. I.e., be it Candace Parker. That's what I'm just going to say it. I'm going to put it out there. That's just the way it is. That's how it is. I don't care if you played the games. Just because you played the game don't mean that you understand the game fully. You just understand your portion of the game and what you played and how well you were able to play it in your position and within the realm of your team. So sometimes just because you played the game doesn't mean that you can analyze the game to its fullest, because sometimes we become sheltered and confined within our own heads uh, for what we want, and then just that base. So to be the best, you have to study the game. You have to know the game. And then let's take it a little bit further. Just because you have not played the game, there are some greats that have never touched the basketball a day in their lives. And I want to be perfectly clear, that have been around the game, that have not played the game, guys, that have studied the game, analyzed the game. They just wasn't good enough to play the game. And they may have tried somewhere along the way, but they weren't good enough to play the game, but they understand the game because they've been around the game, and they can dang near well speak the game through and through, inside and out. So I just want to clarify that as well. So let's not take that for granted for those that are out here making their way and making their rounds and giving their analysis also. So I'm not going to knock those individuals as well. I am one that will give you the straight facts all the way across the board, and I am not going to shoot the next person in the foot because their take isn't my cup of tea. Now, if you're wrong, and I'm going to tell you you're wrong. And that's just the bottom line. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I am not going to cakewalk around your analysis if your analysis is incorrect. So let's be perfectly clear on that. Now, that's my little rant on that. But back to the Barbie and her game last night. When I think about Angel Reese and I look at her game, we all know that there's some things that Angel has to work on. Angel has clarified that very eloquently on her own. We don't have to sit here and constantly say, oh, well, she needs to do this, she needs to do that. We know what she has to refine on, and it's always good to talk about it, right? For those that don't know. So that's what we're here for, to constantly point those things out. As she point those out, we will double back on her and just reiterate the things that she said that she needs to work on, because she is very, very smart. She has a beautiful, bright mind and a knack for the game, her knowledge base for the game. And I'm going to put her in the same category when it comes to the knowledge of the game with Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, Asia Wilson, Lisa Leslie, some of the greats, Cynthia Cooper. And so I said Cynthia Cooper because I'm going to bring her up, a clip of her up a little bit later, on some profound words that she said about Angel Reese in a podcast that she was on with AT&T with, I believe it was Alicia. She had a great take on Angel, and I want to commend Cynthia Cooper. Cynthia Cooper is another one of my greats who was a rookie at age 35. Long history. I applaud you guys to go ahead and pull her up. If you are not familiar with her, look at her history. Phenomenal athlete, great, great player. Played with the Houston Comets alongside of Cheryl Swoops and Tina Thompson. When we talk about the greats of the game, go back and look at these ladies. Please do me one huge favor. Pick a player from the past and do a segment on each of these players. I am giving you what we would call the blueprint of what should be the foundation of what we're doing here as podcasters. I am new to this podcasting world. I am telling you, I am going to be with several of you guys. We're going to talk about these things. I think it is going to be an astonishing idea to look up all of the greats and speak on them, bring them up. So those that are out there that have this vitriol for certain players, when they don't understand the game, it is our job to help them understand the game and understand the analysis of what the game is supposed to look like, because they don't understand what the game is supposed to look like and how players go from good to great, what the process is, and where players now can take the game in the future and what they look like moving forward for the future, what the start looks like, what the middle looks like, and how the progression of each player looks. And if they did that, I think that some of their takes on Angel Reese would be a lot different, even when it comes to some of our veteran players who have had amazing, astonishing careers. And sometimes, as someone who's had an amazing career, i.e., come back to Candace Parker, we are so captivated with our own careers and what we've done and how we can talk about ourselves and captivate the players that we've played with, that we sometimes don't have an opportunity to look at those on the outside. And then we get caught up with those that we want to work with, that we forget about the little girls that looked up to us, those that gave us the will to want to continue to be role models, right? We have those young ones that said, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. I want to be just like her. She did this and she did that. And that's who I want to be like. And we forget those stories when those young ladies become women. And now that they're women, then they're a part of what we once were, because now we're retired. We forget those moments. And sometimes words do more damage than good. I want to say something else, but I'm going to be very respectful here. Sometimes our words can become damaging when we don't use them the right way, when we're speaking of players that are here and they're now the future. And we have to think about what we say, how we say it, regardless to where we're unapologetically ourselves. And I want to say this about Angel Reese. Angel Reese is one of those young ladies that she's very calculated in everything that she do, including her choice of words. She means what she says and she says what she means. She does everything very strategically, and she makes no mistakes when it comes to that. Let's keep it 100. She makes no mistakes when it comes to that. And I want everyone to understand that. She speaks very well in front of the microphone, in front of the audience, in front of every commentator that she needs to. And she means what she says. Guys, trust. She's not going to speak out of turn. If she says it, she means it. But her game, since she's been back from her injury, her rebounding is beyond the next level. When you can put your name in with all of the greats and you are at the top of the charts and you have succeeded beyond the ceiling and you are only in your second year in your career, professional career. When we talk about the ceiling, there is no ceiling. I don't even know where we can say she's going to go with this as she continues her career in the WNBA. Machine. She's beyond a machine. Her programming for those boards is phenomenal. Phenomenal woman she is. That's her. Angel is her. Phenomenal woman she is. And if you don't understand what the word machine is, look it up. It's an engine that runs the motor just never stops. It's a functioning machine that runs. It runs at a fast pace, and sometimes it it doesn't know when to slow down. She can get going and she turns it on and off whenever she feels like it. So if you take last night, for example, whenever she wants to get to the bucket, she can. She might get her shot blocked. But the one thing I love about the fact that when she gets her shot blocked, she doesn't give up. She doesn't rest. There is no rest for this young lady. She doesn't rest. That's what we love so much about Angel Reese. She keeps fighting. She will fight to the very end. If she gives up, it's because it's like, God, dog, man, can I get some help over here? Okay, I got my shot blocked. Somebody going to tell me that there's a weak side help? Because every player on the court should be talking. There's 5 players on the court. 5 players should be talking. If Angel goes to dive, someone should say, hey, I got your help. Hey, pick. Hey, there's a popper. Something, right? And if you are silent as a guard on the floor, that is a problem. You should be talking at every turn. Because I promise you, the other team is Skylar Diggins is a monster. She will pick your pocket. And you got to realize look how tall she is and look how short Diggins is. Diggins picked her pocket more times than she had holes in them. But that's the nature of the game. But did Angel give up? No, she didn't. She kept going. I believe at one point in the game, Sky was down, and like I said in my other video, because this is a run back from my last video, I believe that Sky was down maybe 15 plus points, and I was going back and forth with 2 games. LSU, shout out to my LSU Tigers for pulling off the win over Clemson. Hey, good job, go Tigers! Rawr. Back to the game. LSU. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I had to bring it back. But back to the game. So going back and forth, I saw the last and 6 turnover for Angel. However, when her pocket was picked, when she got the Sky within 7, I believe it was, we were down literally, I believe, 15 points, 15 plus points. She single-handedly bought the Sky within 7, I believe, and just from that turnover, Storm went back up by 5 with literally no help from the team. And these are those moments that can kind of take the air out of your sail. And I say, where is your team? Where's the communication? She can't do it by herself. And I will say that for all of these players. Caitlin Clark can't do it by herself, guys. And for those that are in the chat that like to say, well, Cece does it. No, she doesn't. She's one player. She needs players surrounding her. Paige Beckers can't do it by herself. She needs players around her. Asia Wilson can't do it by herself. She needs players around her. Nafisa Collier can't do it by herself. She needs players around her. Stewie can't do it by herself. Sabrina Linescu can't do it by herself. These ladies need players around them. The list goes on. It goes on and on. I can name a number of players. I can name a player on each team, right? Lanissa Thomas. They need players around them, but each team has a player on their team that is a prolific player that gets it done every night. Literally gets it done. That is a dog on their team. And we will not take away from any of those players what they do on their team. And as someone that comes on here and speak on teams, players in the game, you give each of these players their props. Give them their props for what they do. When you criticize, you also praise. Something we say in the military, right? We say criticize behind closed doors and praise in public. You don't diminish a soldier in front of everybody and degrade them and have them look a whole mess in front of everybody. And then you turn around and then you kind of give them praise in the dark. No one knows how great a soldier is if you praise them in the dark and you give them their flowers in the dark and then you criticize them in front of everybody. I'm an NCO that will never do that. This is something that we don't do in the military. That is something we don't do. We don't degrade in public. That's not it. And I would not do it to a player either. Right? If I got something to say to you, I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna be point blank with it. And I'm gonna be very, very clear with it. So the same thing with a player, with your teammate. I love the way Angel is with her team. She get on her team and she tells them and she praise them, she uplifts them. If this is what you're good at, Kia, if you're a 3-point shooter and you know that you can knock it down and you know that you need to be in a corner and you need to set your feet and blah 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 blah, you do that. That's an Angel Reese, right? That's what Angel says. That's what she does best. Atkins, you know that you can get to the cup and you know that you're a dime dropper, then that's what you need to do. If you get up in the paint and you can sit there and you can take your middies, take your middies. What you doing? That's an Angel Reese. Miller, you're a beast on the boards. Do what you do. Come on, Miller. That's Angel Reese. Reese is a player that uplifts her teammates at every turn. My question for her teammates are, and she says that they uplift her, but where do I see it? I got to see the praise in public. Because by no means where we don't see it, where Angel uplifts her teammates. Now, I'm going to take Angel's word that that's what they do, but I'm telling you, I'm from the show me state. Show me. Show me. Because Angel is a monster. Sky's the limits. And I don't think anyone or any past, present, or future player would say any different for Angel whatsoever, right? They will all say the same thing. Her personality, her character, sweet as pie, will give you the shirt off her back if she needs to. and is a great, great teammate. But if you are the opposing team, she will dog you. That is, she will dog walk you if she has to. She will love you outside those lines, but inside those lines, you are her enemy. And that is the way it is supposed to be. And she shows you by putting up 20 and 10, like she did last night. Game before, what was it? 11 and 10 or 10 and 11? Game before that, 15 and 10. The list goes on. But the ability to play bad the game before that and then come in the fourth quarter and take over a game. The ability to take one quarter and take over a game and put up a double double in one quarter is you tell me that that's not a player on her way to being great. You tell me that that's not a player who is finding her way to be the next generational player. I tell you, you are a lie, not a liar. You a lie. You a pile of lie is what you are. So let's give Angel Reese her flowers. She's amazing. We all know what she has to work on. She is not great yet. She is good. Greatness will come later. She has things she has to work on. Cece's good. Cece has things she has to work on. Paige Beckers is good. And she's going to grow. And there's things that she has to work on. Every player has things that they have to work on. Kiki Erfin, good, has things she has to work on. We could keep going, right? The sophomores and the rookies, and I've said it in some of my lives that I've been on, and I thank all of the other podcasters and have allowed me to come on their platforms. I'm so grateful. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to step out of the chat and come on and give my opinion and be a part of your circle. And I do appreciate you all. I'm always going to give you your flowers as well for what you do and having me a part. I am so grateful. Thank you. And always, always willing to step foot and have a conversation with you, whether it be debatable or just topics that we come in and we talk about at all times. And I do have to give homage to those that are working with me very, very closely behind the scenes to help me get where I am. You know who you are. I love you to death. Appreciate you, support you. And man, I tell you, I wouldn't be at this moment right here without you. Without you. I tell you all the time. I tell you thank you all the time. And I'm going to tell you thank you here. Your flowers are always nice, fresh, and bloom. I give you fresh flowers every day. Every day. But Cynthia Cooper, to say the things that she said. I'm going to play this short clip for you guys because I have gotten a little long-winded here with Angel and just her ability to be who she is and the people surrounding her and some of the other players. And I know I threw some other players in here today that I did not have in the first clip, but I want to make sure that you're hearing me very, very clearly and my stance on basketball. This is a passion of mine. I once played the game, right? But again, like I said, just because you played the game don't mean that you know all about the game. We can brag, boast about what we did way back when. It is not our time. It is these ladies' times, and let's give them their flowers. Let's support them the best way that we can, because I am not here to talk about me. My time has come and gone, and so is the rest of ours. So let's give them their flowers and let's support them in their endeavors and what they're trying to accomplish and how successful they're trying to be. It doesn't matter if I was once a coach, a player, or I did or didn't. So bragging and boasting about something that I was or once. Now, if you ask me and we want to pick a time where we talk about my accolades, then we could do that. But this is not about me. It is about them. It is about supporting Angel Reese. If anyone, let me make sure that I'm very, very clear. I am an Angel Reese fan. Let's be clear. I'm an Angel Reese fan. I'm an Asia Wilson fan. I adore Angel Reese. I adore Asia Wilson. I'm going to be very clear on my stance. I like Caitlin Clark. I think that she's an amazing player. I like Paige Beckers. I like Nafisa Collier. I like Brianna Stewart. I like Sabrina Ionescu. I can go on and on. I like players on every team. So I am by far a hater of anyone. So let's be clear. Don't come in my comments with the drama. I do clap back. Don't come in here with the drama. I'm going to speak on whoever I want to speak on, and whoever don't like it, too bad. But I welcome all comments. So leave a comment, hit the like button, and please do subscribe. That's what it's for. Subscribe. You want to hear more from me? Make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Without a doubt, hit that subscribe button. More to come. More conversations. You want to hear more from me? Please, please, please hit that notification bell so every time I drop, you'll get that notification. So definitely so. Let's hear from Cynthia Cooper. So we're going to get to the portion of Cynthia Cooper where I'm just going to fast forward to just right where her portion of the clip is. And that's it. So let's just go right there. So we just hear this, that portion. This was a great interview, you guys. So I would applaud you to go and check this out. Shout out to AT&T. This is a great podcast team. Definitely go and check Alicia out. This is a great podcasting team. If you're not subscribed to them, or if you just want to go and look at some of their takes, please go and look at their takes. It is the need to talk. Definitely go check them out. Shout out to them.
To you, and you have all of these game changers that have inspired you. Who should we connect with next?
I would connect with Asia.
Let's go back, guys. I'm sorry, I'm a little too far. Let's take it back.
Of hers and how she's continued to
go back to the right at the top of the 34-minute mark.
Energetically, Asia Wilson. How about that? And she lets her game speak for her. So Asia Wilson is another person that connects me to greatness, right? If there was another person, I want to give, in my spirit, I'm feeling, I need to give a shout out to Angel Reese. Angel Reese is just a workaholic. She just gets down to business, right? A lot of stuff has been thrown her way. She keeps her circle tight and she stays focused on her game. She got help from Lisa Leslie. She'll get help from whoever she needs to in order to be a better player and a better person. I love what her mom is doing in her life and how they're so close. I love her, just her energy out there on the court and her competitive nature. Like she reminds me of me when I was starting out and I didn't care. Say what you want to say. I'm bringing my A game tonight. Right? You're going to have to stop me from getting all these rebounds. Stop talking about how I get the rebounds. Stop me if you can. And I love that attitude of hers and how she's continuing to get better every single game.
Well, Esther connected us to you, and you have all of these games.
Hear that, guys? Very, very clear. I think that true athletes all speak the same knowledge. They speak the same language. The language is always the same when it comes to Angel Reese. It speaks the same language. And shout out to Mama Reese, aka Big Reese. Shout out to her for her thrive for her children. Everything that she was when she played the game, she gave it all to her daughter, and her daughter has perfected it and has done an amazing job. And although she doesn't get too high and she doesn't get too low with Angel, and she's constantly in Angel's ear, making sure that Angel becomes better and better and becomes the better version of herself. And she's not her. Angel will be herself and not her mother. So I do love that about Big Angel. Shout out to her mom, wholeheartedly, 100%. Let's listen to that one more time, just so you're clear on exactly what she said. That's about 13. So if you go to the video, it starts right at 34 minutes and 15 seconds.
To Angel Reese. Angel Reese is just a workaholic. She just gets down to business, right? A lot of stuff has been thrown her way. She keeps her circle tight and she stays focused on her game. She got help from Lisa Leslie. She'll get help from whoever she needs to in order to be a better player and a better person. I love what her mom is doing in her life and how they're so close. I love her, just her energy out there on the court and her competitive nature. Like she reminds me of me when I was starting out and I didn't care. Say what you want to say. I'm bringing my A game tonight, right? You're going to have to stop me from getting all these rebounds. Stop talking about how I get the rebounds. Stop me if you can. And I love that attitude of hers and how she's continuing to get better every single game.
Right. Facts. That is facts, guys. That is 100% facts. That's facts. Facts over feelings, as they say, right? Facts over feelings. Let's get back to the take here. So facts over feelings. Couldn't have said it any better. Couldn't have said it any better. No one can say it any better than that. No one can say it any better than that. You get it from the greats. It doesn't change. My energy in the other video was not there. So I have to come back and bring you me, bring you 100% me. This is me. This is the energy that I want to bring you. If I give you another video like that, you get in the chat and you say, "What are you doing so pretty, Tony?" But anyway, yes. Back to shouting out to Angel Reese's mother. Her mom has done a phenomenal job. Just like Cynthia Cooper said, you cannot ask for such a profound, prolific, balanced, well-balanced parent when it comes to what Angel's mother has instilled in her. But Angel's will to be who she is, the go-getter. If she wants it, she's gonna get it. Sometimes she has to tell her mom, "Nope, mom, look." And her mom's like, "Angel, balance yourself." I mean, if you look at the video that she did on her unapologetic show with her mom, and her mom tells her there are some things that she has to slow down on, but Angel's like, "No, I'm going to get it. I'm going to go get it." So what are we doing here, right? What are we doing here? I'm going to go get it. Nope, no time to slow down. And it's good to be young and vigorous at that moment for the things that you want, because if you work hard now, you can relax later. And I have that conversation with my son. My son is 27, and he's an entrepreneur and he does his own thing. And I've always told him, in order to get what you want and be where you want to be and not have to worry about the next person, be your own boss, right? Being your own boss, don't do what I did. Don't work for somebody, work for yourself. It's hard in the beginning. It's never going to be easy. You might turn gray earlier than you want to, but in the end, you're going to be very successful. So work hard now to have a cakewalk later. And that's the best words that I can give a 27-year-old male, right? Um, and to instill that in him. But you can see that in Angel, and Angel has had that mindset for a while. When you look at her coming from college, while in college, just the knowledge base to know that I have to get a team surrounding me that's going to give me that foundation so I don't go off the rails, or I don't do too much, or I don't try to go here and someone does something and takes advantage, right? But she's such a savvy businesswoman. Like I said in the beginning, she does nothing without having a base, a foundational base for what she wants. And that is what she does on the court. She pick and choose when she's gonna go. But her motor, every player that plays against her, that speaks on her, they talk about her motor, how she goes. And it's hard to stop. I mean, yeah, she's gonna get her shot blocked. She's a small post. When she gets in there, she's small. She's not very tall. So she has to pick and choose when she's going to put that ball up. She sees one thing sometimes when she goes in there, and sometimes she has to rethink it. I think one individual came on the show one time and said that she passes the ball out because she's bailing herself out. No, she's looking for the next best thing. If you don't have the shot, then you absolutely should pass the ball out. I mean, that's what you do, right? It avoids you from getting your shot blocked. But if you're trying to make things happen and you're the go person, you're that engine, you're not the engine that could, you're the willing engine, you're that will that makes the world go round. And when you're the will that makes the world go round and makes the team pump and go and move, you're that energy will, then you have to constantly make the circle go. It's that ball. The ball don't move and it don't roll unless you're the one making it happen. Otherwise, it stops and it freezes. When it freezes, then what happens? Nothing, nothing applies. It doesn't go into hope. It doesn't pass. It doesn't dribble, and it doesn't shift. But if you're willing it to move, if you're passing it, if you're dribbling it, if you're constantly moving, then the ball is shifting, right? The ball is that's the nature of the beast. And Angel does that for her team. And that is why Candace Parker, she's one of the options for her team. She's an option for every team she's ever played on. So next time, make sure, and I can't say it enough, make sure, make sure that you do your research on the player before you talk about a player. Know what you're talking about before you talk about them. I don't care if you've never, because you admitted that you don't know her. You hadn't really seen her. So research next time you say, well, I was asked to critique. Well, if you're going to critique, do what you did in your other little show where you pulled in Juju and some of the other players and you went over some game film and you kind of critiqued whether how they move and what made them make a decision to pass the ball to this person and to Citron and over here and over there. And you broke down film on that, right? And you did a great job on those segments. I'm gonna give it to you hands down. But you should have did that when you talked about Angel. And you should do that when you talk about any player. But Angel to the MF and Reese. I'm going to give you your flowers. I'm going to give you your flowers as often as I can because you are her and you will be the her once you get and figure it all out 100%. 100%. And based on that, guys, again, go look up Cynthia Cooper if you don't know who she is. And if you are talking about this game and you don't know who the greats are, I tell you, go look up as many professional players that have retired from the game from the start of the WNBA inception. Then look at players beyond the WNBA so you can learn about the game, so you know about the game in order to speak on the game. And with that, guys, I'm going to leave you with that right there because I just gave you an assignment. Utilize that to go do your homework. Homework is key to give you the knowledge base for the things that you're speaking on. So you have a clear understanding and a clear path to where you need to be when you're speaking on any player in this game whatsoever. So let's get there. Get your knowledge up. And I'm going to sign out. Again, hit the subscribe button. So you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop. Hit that like button for sure. Definitely for sure. So you can get more of this. Tell me that you hitting that like button means that you like what you heard. So definitely hit that like button for sure. Hit that like button and comment because I do look at the comments and I'm going to reply to as many comments as I possibly can. So if you flood me and I don't get to you right away, trust me, I will get to you. I will get to you. So I applaud you. I'm going to do some segments where I'm going to come on and I just want to have moments where I can chat with you guys. So it'll be some lives that I'm going to come on that where we can kind of actually sit down and we can have basketball talk. I don't want to have no vitriol. And then we can have some debates where we agree to disagree. We're not always going to agree. The world does not work with us all agreeing. That's not the way the world works. We're in the US of A. We're in the US of A. I've traveled the world. I've been to a lot of countries. So trust me, I know how people think abroad. So, and this free world is definitely something else. We are in one of the freest worlds ever known to man. And trust me, we do way too much. We do way too much, and the world of freedom of speech here is above and beyond. But that's another topic. I don't do political, so don't come on here. We're not gonna do no political speeches because I will not debate you politically. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We could be politically correct when it comes to sports, but political aspects, I am not going to debate you on that. I am still in the military uniform, so I cannot speak on publicly on political standpoints. So I'm just going to let you know that right now. That is definitely a no for me. That is something that I cannot do. It is absolutely a negative for me. But however, please, as often as you can, hit that like button, leave a comment. Let's talk about it. And with that, guys, I sign off. Salute to you. Again, homage to everyone. I applaud you for what you do. I applaud all you podcasters. This, of course, as you all know, is not an easy task, but I appreciate you. I appreciate that the work that you're putting in. I appreciate your time. And with that, I bid you all adieu. Have a good one.